Welcome back to the Little Tin Cans channel. Today we're working on my 2007 Chrysler Pacifica, and we're going to go ahead and replace the ends on the sway bar in the front. And it's got a clunking noise. Thought it might have been the inner tie rod ends, and kind of eliminated that, and then thought it might be a CV shaft on the passenger side, and although that's a little sloppy, I don't think it's the clunking noise. This happens when I'm driving and I'm going down maybe a little bumpy road or something, and it'll make it sound like there's something that's loose rattling. So hopefully this is the right solution for it. I got to give a shout out to my friend Bob, who said, hey, you know, that might be tight when you've got it jacked up, but don't forget that you can have a different angle on it and it'll make that noise. And I'm like, yeah, let's try it on the ground instead of on the jack. And sure enough, they are a little sloppy, so we'll go ahead and change those out. I'll show you how in just a minute. All right, so this is the same Pacifica that I did an ABS module on, just as a quick diagnostic thing, and then stuck my original back on. It was always fun taking one off just to put the thing back on, so you're doing the job twice. Anyways, and then also another video that I showed how to do the throttle body on, I believe. And I can put links down into the description on this one to show you those videos if you want to take a look at them. This video, let's go ahead and take a look at what we need to do. This is the part. Don't mind this. This is for another project I've got going on. This is the part we're installing. And today we're using a Master Pro. This is from my friends at O'Reilly's. And it is part number K7258. Doesn't necessarily mean that'll be the same as yours, but that's what I'm using for mine. And let's go ahead and get started. First thing I'd like to do is make sure, since I'm working in the gravel, I need to put this jack under here, and we work on a fairly flat surface by doing that. If you look way up in there, I can stick the jack on the X member that has the motor. Basically, it's the engine cradle on this particular vehicle, and I try and stick it just to the left of a bolt that sticks down, just to the left and behind. So there we go. That will come pretty close to center on the car. I'm going to set you down here for a second. You might rock around a little bit while I jack this up. Okay, now that I got it started, I'm going to set the emergency brake. I think I already did, but let's check to make sure. Yep, she's tight. Because as soon as these front wheels leave the ground, park is no longer a thing. Alright, so we've got both wheels off the ground. Next best thing here, next most important thing I should say, is sticking jack stands in here. Alright, there's one. Let's go ahead and stick the other one in, other side. And that way, if the jack decides to let loose, this thing's got something to sit on that's not me. There we go. Yeah, lovely gravel. All right. Let's go ahead and get started on taking the wheel off, because that's going to be our next step. And this really shouldn't be that difficult a process, so we'll see. All right, so that is actually a weird shape, and if we look really close, I'll move you in here, I think you might be able to see that that has a Torx bit or star-shaped bit that you could put into there. The thing is that, number one, I'm not going to go looking for that. It's not something that I use very often, and I don't care, because I have a pair of vice grips that will grab a hold of that almost as easily. And then we'll just go ahead and use a ratcheting wrench to get that off of there. It doesn't have to be held very tight, but especially up here, when I get to that top one, let me move you there, I am going to probably use the Ugga-Dugga on it. And when I do, there's no way to get that Torx bit into there, because I'll have the Ugga-Dugga in the way. Now I realize I'm using the wrench on this side. That's because that's the only thing that will fit in there. Or, you know, a socket wrench might fit in there. But I thought it'd just be quicker to do this. That thing is long-winded. Alright, get that off of my fingers now. There we go. Take that off. Going to switch that up to the top here. Hopefully that will fit up on there. Alright, so got that 18mm socket now. I was using 3/4 for the lug nuts. Let's just go ahead and grab a hold of this and just be done with it. There we go. See? No need for a special wrench. So let's see how much play is actually in this thing. Oh yeah. Take that off. Yeah. Yep, she's dry. Let's take this rubber seal off of there. Yeah, there we go. Look at that in there. That is just done. So I'm sure that's probably where that clunky noise is coming from. And I guess we'll find out, because we'll take her for a drive after we get these two on here, and it shouldn't take that long. The replacement part has a hex here where I was using the vice grip and nothing in this end. So that is one of the reasons why I went in. The other thing is, hey, these have Zerk fittings. Yay. They're greasable. Now, if we were all paying attention in class, you'd know that the stud's going to come in from the backside here. Ooh, but if I remember correctly, I have to do it like this behind the cable for the ABS. This is the cable that senses what we need to do for the ABS. So here we go for that. There's that. And we'll hit that with the Ugga-Dugga in just a second. And like I said, on this, the end of that is a 15, so there we go on that one. So much quicker than doing the wrench, but there's no room down here on the back side to do the wrench. And you notice I didn't have to undo that sway bar. That's kind of cool. Let me get you in here where you can see what I'm doing here. Alrighty. We can get that in there. Hopefully I can keep my big fat hand out of there. For the most part anyways. Keep that going the right direction, because you know it looks the same both ways. And I think that I want to kind of keep that there. There we go. Now we'll have to remember to grease these after we get them on. I'm going to say that they probably came with a little bit of grease, but not a whole lot. Give that a little torque. There we go. It's a locking nut, so beefy hand tight. I'm sure there's a torque spec for that, but I used the Armstrong torque. Yeah, that was it. Anyways. All right, so now that's back on. I got the new piece, and I'm going to move over to the other side as soon as I get this wheel back on. And actually, let's grease this up. All right, I'm back with the grease gun. We only need to give these things a few squirts of grease because you don't want to overfill them. All you'll end up doing is popping the seal if you overfill it. Here we go. So it'll go out into there. And bring you up here. Oop. There we go. That one wants to be a little particular. There we go. I believe we got a little bit of grease in there. Yep. She should be good. And then we'll take our shop rag and get any excess grease off of there. Don't need that. Same thing with the bottom side here. Wipe off your Zerk fittings. Let's get that wheel back on here. So that wasn't so bad. I'll probably have more fun getting this wheel back on. Here we go. Put one of those on the bottom, then it'll stay on. That'll allow me to put the next ones on pretty easy. Just a little trick. Another thing that we could do, and actually, let's see here. Yeah, I think I'll skip it for now. We'll maybe do it another time if it's still an issue. But some of these, from what my friend Bob told me, because he used to work at a Chrysler place, he told me that some of these actually end up needing to have the center nut that goes for the CV axle to need to be retorqued. Somehow or another they come loose a little bit, or they wear a little bit, and the way they're designed, they need to be retorqued apparently. There's actually, I guess, a service bulletin, from what I understand, that wanted a shim installed in there, but they found that you can kind of get by with just retorquing it. So anyways, now I'm not going to tighten these all the way. Just going to put them on lightly. Really just using that to run it down with. And then when I set this down on the ground, we'll go ahead and torque them. All right, let me get over to the other side, do it. All right, well, I've done the driver's side. Showed you on the passenger side. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these jack stands out. And hopefully lower the car slowly. Nope. Nope. And we're going to go ahead and torque these wheels. We should be done. You know, hopefully this has helped somebody. I've done this kind of stuff for about 40 years off and on. It's kind of a, not really a hobby, but yet not a lot for other people. I'm torquing these to the torque spec that we had from another video just a couple of days ago. 85 pounds is what they claim. I'll double check that later and verify that, because it seems like it'd be a little bit more than that. And I do have a tendency to run through these twice because I want to make sure that it's evenly torqued. So if this helped you, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button if you already haven't, because it really helps out a small YouTube channel like mine. And hopefully you'll be watching some of my other stuff. Not all of it is newer stuff. I do a lot of older car stuff, a little fabrication stuff. So yeah, check it out. Thanks for watching. Bye. Well, hey, you're still here? Great, because I forgot to take you for a ride. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. See if we get rid of the little clunk in the front end. All right, you go ahead and listen. Tell me if you hear anything over them bumps. Oh, seatbelt. I think we got rid of it. Nice. Hey, thanks for watching.